Implementation overview. How we set up the evaluation. The first thing we ask you to do is identify two similar ability Year 4 classes. The What Works Teachers platform will then randomly allocate one to the intervention and one to the control. You then complete the pre-assessment task, which is the spelling test with both groups. The intervention group then receives the spelling strategy over the next 6 weeks. The control will continue with business as usual, their usual strategies. And then you will complete the post-assessment at the end of the 6 weeks with both groups. The platform will generate an impact report, and if it shows it's promising, you can then open this up to your control class. So let's look at the planning. Step 1. Identify two similar ability classes participate in the evaluation from the same year group. Step 2. Identify 50 challenging words from the National Curriculum Guidance. These will be introduced by a minimum of 10 new spellings a week over 5 weeks. The 6th week will be a consolidation week. Select 20 words to use as the pre and then post-assessment task. We do have assessment guidance in the resource folder. Please note that the number of words depends on your school's expectations for the number of words taught per week. The minimum is 10, but this may be more. This will create a list of at least 50 words for the 5 weeks, with the final week being a consolidation. Whilst we advise that you use the DFE spellings, you can use different spellings if these are from your school's existing schemes of work and they align with the DFE and you follow the same process, e.g. a minimum of 50 words are selected with 20 of these used for the pre and post assessment. Step 3. Using the trial wizard on the What Works Teachers platform, randomly assign classes to the intervention and control group. Implementation. Step 4. Complete the pre-assessment spelling test with both the intervention and control groups. Record the marks in your Excel tracker, it's located in the resource folder, and then input this data into the pre-test on the trial wizard. As you're handling class data, it's advisable if you have a second teacher to read out the scores while you input these into the platform. It will speed up the process. Step 5. For the intervention class, deliver the target intervention. This variation of the look, say, cover, write, check incrementally introduces the words in short sessions throughout the week. The control group will continue with business as usual for the duration of the trial. Step 6. Complete the post-assessment spelling test at the end of the 6 weeks, and this is the same as the pre, to both the intervention and control groups. Record the marks in the Excel tracker and then input these into the post-test on the trial wizard. You'll then be asked to complete a short process evaluation and then click Analyze, which will generate your impact report. So the intervention focuses on Year 4 pupils. Intervention is delivered by a teacher and it can be set as homework. This is a variation of the look, say, cover, write, check, which incrementally introduces the words in short sessions throughout the week. So we'll leave this at the discretion of the teacher. It could be daily or it could be every couple of days, but please log this in the process evaluation. And then each session will take approximately 5 to 10 minutes. The intervention is the look, say, cover, write, check, which is a method of spelling where children study a word, say the word clearly aloud, pay attention to the spelling, cover it up with a piece of paper or their hand, write the spelling next to the original word, check their version to see if they got it right, write the correct spelling again if necessary. This version of the strategy emphasizes reading and saying the word aloud to help connect the written and spoken word. How to select the spellings. The DFE Primary National Curriculum includes guidance on the expected spellings for Year 4. Please use this to create a list of at least 50 words that you will select for the intervention. If you already have your spellings decided in your scheme and these align with the DFE, this is fine. Each week, the learners will practice a minimum of 10 new spellings using the look, say, cover, write, check strategy. In the resource folder, you'll find the template. You'll also find a one-page assessment support to help you create your assessments, as well as an FAQs. In the resource folder, you also find a tracking spreadsheet, which allows you to link an anonymized learner ID on the platform to a student in your class. So key considerations. Logistical issues need to be considered before using a targeted spelling strategy as an intervention. Time is a suitable time for the delivery in school. Reminders if it's set for homework. Resources, if you need the templates, can you print these in advance? And will you link this to rewards? So logistical barriers are common in any intervention within schools, so it's just important to consider these prior to starting. Finally, moving on to the assessment. The outcome measure is attainment as defined by the pre and post assessment spelling test. The assessment is marked out of 20, and is the same for both the pre and the post. As both the control and intervention groups receive the same assessment, familiarity with this should not bias the effect size. And then final guidance is complete this under test conditions, allow approximately 10 to 15 minutes for the assessment, provide an example of the word in the context for each spelling, and record pre and post assessment scores on your tracking spreadsheet and in the What Work Teachers platform. So that's the end of your guidance. The next thing to do is to download your research protocol, the resource folder, and then enter the trial wizard.